Duality. You can't be the beginning and the end. You can only be one or the other.
God is the beginning and the end, is it not?
That's correct.
But aren't we all gods?
No.
That was so fast.
I knew it was the question coming up. It was right on the tip of your tongue.
You're like, absolutely not.
No, because I can't see you saying to me that bottle is not a bottle, it's a dog, and it turns into a dog. But I know God could do that.
Yeah, but you could do that for yourself, right?
What? Turn that bottle into a dog?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Okay.
You can do it?
Probably if I tried hard enough.
Go ahead, little girl. Prove that shit.
Well, you wouldn't be able to see it. I would be able to see it. My reality is what I can control. I can control my own reality. Whether that's a bottle or a dog, that's my reality.
That's the funny thing about God, though. He could change your reality, not just his own.
I've never seen this before.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool.
I feel like God changes my reality by being like, you'll have everything you want if you want everything you have. Like, thanks, God.
Okay. I see.
That's what I feel like if we were talking about it like that.
I've seen some amazing things. That's all.
I want to hear about it.
One day we'll talk.
You'll testify?
There are things that I've seen that cannot be explained by science. And I'm a science man.
But who says that science is outside of
God's capability?
divinity? Yeah.
Nobody. But that's how you know he's God, because whatever the calculation he's doing.
Every time people start saying he is where you lose me on it.
Whatever.
Every time. Listen. I can get down with God until people start saying he. And then I'm like, my eyes glaze over.
Listen, it don't matter what you think about his gender or gender.
God? Okay.
When you start getting all
I don't know how it could be a him.
About gender.
Because the ladies create. Okay, ready? I'm gonna start intro in a minute.
Okay.
Should I do like a hand signal to you or something?
Just let me know when we're on.
Okay. How do I do that? Like with a hand signal or something? Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Black Multiverse Theory podcast.
Episode 1.
So, I'm your host. No, I'm not your host on this one. I'm here with co-host. My name is Nigel Williams. And I'm here with the beautiful and lovely
NiLo, voice of the people, I was told today. Officially.
She sure is.
I'm the official voice
NiLo,
of the people.
a.k.a. activist, a.k.a.
Oh,
the voice of the people,
activist.
a.k.a. Locks Guru.
Lockdoc.
Lockdoc, I like
Natural
that.
hair ambassador. Vibes ambassador. Global natural hair ambassador.
Global, I like that.
And Nigel's the singing plumber. But not at the same time.
But not at the same time. I don't sing and plumb.
And this is the Black Multiverse Theory, a podcast where we explore the way Black folks kind of live different versions of themselves. And we explore global and popular culture from an Afro-Canadian perspective. And I have to say, I guess that would be cisgendered, hetero, Afro-Canadian perspective.
Cisgender.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to take that into consideration after last week. I was like, we definitely have an Afro-Canadian perspective, but like, it's not like the Afro-Canadian perspective, right?
No. We also take into consideration our backgrounds. We have Caribbean backgrounds, we have the Canadian background, and then we have different things. This is how we are multiversed.
Yeah.
And we're Black.
Yeah.
So This is where a lot of us that live here, that know about being Canadian or living in Canada.
Or also about being the only black person.
Yes.
Or the black girl. Or the black guy.
The black guy.
Yeah.
The black guy.
So this is how we're going to interact with the world around us on a week-to-week basis.
Mm-hmm. So.
Wait, I stopped.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and title that one. Delete this segment. Yes. So Corella, I'm excited because Corella's on board to be editing us now. Wow, so loud.
We ran into a little bit of a problem with Jamal. I can't find his phone number.
Who's Jamal?
DJ.
J Mello.
J Mello.
If anybody has a link to J Mello, can you tell him to hit up NiLo in my inbox?
And yeah, I may go to see him. He's at BU, Belu, Baru, something like that.
Baru. Okay.
Yeah.
We're
on Thursday night.
Oh, that's a venue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he's there on Thursday night. I want to go check him out.
Okay.
I probably can't because
Thursday night is children's night.
I gotta watch kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so we're moving on to part 2.
Part 2.
You want to talk about some pronouns?
Let's talk about pronouns.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
I'm sad that people can't see all these moves, these fly moves on the podcast itself.
What fly moves?
I feel like most.
You're popping and locking.
Well, not really locking. A soft closure, more so than a lock. I'm popping a soft close.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely pop. Yeah, you're popping in soft clothes. Gotcha.
I'm popping soft clothes. Not popping lock.
You can pop your hip out too.
I'm too old for that. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So I have to say, last week we talked about Adora, who is in Calgary. And Adora I would definitely call an activist. She's a comedian. There I go again. And what I was thinking about is that Adora uses the pronouns they and them. And last week, and just a second ago, I mispronounced her. I mispronounced them. I mispronounced Adora. So I want to ask you, like, are you considerate of people's pronouns? And is it something that you pay attention to? Like, how do you deal with that?
No.
Okay.
So, no, I gotta explain myself.
Okay.
The funny thing about people's pronouns is you don't know their pronouns until you meet them or see them, and then
they tell you.
And then they tell you what they go by.
Right.
But if the person looks away, you tend to say the pronoun that fits the way they look. The other day, my son was at school, and he and his partner for his science exhibit called him over, and I said, "Oh, your partner, he's calling you," and he burst out laughing because it was a girl the whole time.
And you thought it was a boy.
Yeah.
So, but don't you think, because linguistically, the way language is, you use we used they and them as a society way before we used he and she. So I feel like if you're just generally using they and them and people's names.
Are you sure?
I feel like that covers everything.
Before we use he and she? Are you sure?
Yes. I heard it on one of my favorite podcasts.
You heard it on the scroll?
No.
I don't think these factual statements. Growing up, I didn't use they and them before I used he and she.
I'm not talking about when you were growing up. I'm talking about in the 30s and 40s. I'm talking about the development of language over time. They and them was more common than he and she.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Anthropologist. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe anthropologist, linguist.
So, how do you feel about it?
I actively do my best to take into consideration people's pronouns. What I can say for sure, though, is that I am not as good of an ally to the community as I would like to be. I know it takes active work. So that I think I'm doing my best to educate myself, read, brush up so that I can understand what it is to be an ally and then act in that way. So I actively attempt, but I know I'm not as good at it as I could be.
I get that. I get that. I have an issue sometimes with that. I think I get corrected quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because
You're just like, she, he, whatever.
He, she.
I'm done here.
How you identify, you can identify as whatever you want to identify. I don't have to identify you as, but at the beginning, when you first meet somebody, you respect them after you meet them. And then that's what the beginning of this podcast is, what I was saying in this particular segment. So you have to meet them and find out what they are, then you respect how they are. And it's just the background. But as soon as you meet them, if they look like a girl, you say she. If it looks like a boy, you say he.
But I feel like number one, you're right, it is common. But I don't know if commonality means that we can't try to do better. The thing that challenges me really is people being like, oh, how do I do this? How do I know if it's he or she or what? And I'm generally just use the person's name and you should be good to go from that.
If you know the person's name.
Yeah. But
that little girl that my son was with, I don't know that person. I don't know her name.
Yeah, but if you were like, hey, look, they're calling you.
Yeah, I guess. Technically, yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. If you move they and them into the he, she space, then you're covered.
Okay.
It just takes active focus and concentration, I think. And that's the challenge, isn't it? The work
going into processing the person's preferences.
Yeah, but it is work.
Huge.
That was good. That was a whole 5 minutes. We just did that. I feel like high-fiving you.
Why? You didn't think we could do a whole 5 minutes on that?
Bro, I know we could do a whole 5 minutes, but my point is we are on it now. I feel like we're rocking.
We are rocking. Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
High five. High five.
I did. We're uploading with all of these MBPSs that we have. Any second now. I have to catch you beatboxing on here. Hi, everyone. Yeah. We have 3 whole viewers today.
Woo!
That's what I'm saying. I think last time we had 1. All right now.
We are here at the
I'm really good.
Black Multiverse Theory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't have to pay nobody. Can't you just riff it in every time?
You don't have to pay nobody. I can riff it in all the time.
No, I refuse. No.
No, I refuse. No.
Stop copying me. Gotta type these up so Corella knows what the hell's going on. A jumble of laughter and confusion. Oh God. Pronouns.
What's next?
So you trying to talk about this Sons of Oden thing or what?
Just talking about it.
You trying to talk about Sierra and Future next? Let's talk about Sons of Oden first.
Yeah, we gotta lighten it up after something on.
Yeah, we definitely do. That shit is heavy. Okay. We should sandwich it. Like light, heavy, light. In the future. I have a belch coming. You can't even lightly burp into it. Like you think you're suppressing it, and then in the headphones it's like, like I thought I just kept that down. No.
Yeah. I'm surprised that my my belly doesn't growl more.
Really?
My belly is loud. I was sitting on my
We're
couch
gonna have a night like that.
in my house, and Joe Miko was sitting across on the other couch. In
And
my
your
house.
belly's growling?
My belly was like, "Wow!" She's like, "Nigel,
No.
just eat something."
No,
I was like,
I beat you. My belly has growled, and my dog has been like, "Bitch, what?" Moved out my way, like I don't know what your problem is. That growl was low and serious. She just went into her kettle, like,
she's like, "I'm out of here." She go eat me that.
gee. She just knew that there was another dog.
She thought there was another dog.
She's like, pack leader. Oh, goodness. Literally. Okay. Oh, you. So you bought a Sunday Sun today. It's not Sunday. What day is it? Tuesday.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought
A Tuesday
the Sun.
Sun.
Yeah, Sun newspaper for sure. And on the front cover of the Tuesday Sun newspaper,
First of all, how much was it?
like they charge me $1.10 for a regular day paper. I don't get that. I don't know, man. I haven't bought a paper in ages. So the last time I bought a paper, there were 50
Who
cents.
even does that anymore?
There were 50 cents in the week.
Right. $1 on a Tuesday?
It was like $1.10.
I thought it was an old paper.
Lady
But
came
it's a
up, she
Tuesday
goes, "Oh, you get the paper too? Ching, ching, ching."
A paper.
I was like, "This is
She's probably like, this guy doesn't know he can just Google this.
They charged me a convenience fee because now I got my news from the paper instead of Google. Instead of the scroll where I usually get my news from.
No, the scroll is definitely where I get most of my news from. The scroll is the most accurate form of the news. I don't even watch the Grammys. No, I just read it on the scroll. Because that's the best parts anyway. I don't care about all that middle stuff. They'll just report me it's vetted.
They go through everything. They tell you the most important thing.
That's all I need.
But when I got the newspaper, what caught my attention was the Sun's Soldiers of Oden. So Soldiers of Oden's a white supremacist group.
It's not Sons of Oden?
It's soldiers.
Oh, okay. The word soldiers. I didn't realize
Soldiers
that
of
they used, I thought that they like softened it a little bit.
Mm-mm.
But just a quick question, because you know I'm new around this place. Didn't Jason Kinney isn't these are the guys that he was meeting with all the time before anyway? Like
That's
during
what
the whole.
I mean, it's the same thing all around the world, right? Like Trump met with, white supremacist group.
Right. So this guy's like Trump adjacent.
Really? A lot of people are associating him as the Canadian Trump.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Chump, but whatever.
Drumpf is actually Trump's actual name. Drumpf.
Drumpf?
Yeah, they changed it.
So these guys, they're about white supremacy. So all other races, all other colors that are associated and people affiliated with and are preferenced with, they look down at them and they do their march, that they are superior to all other races.
And the march probably has largely to do with intimidation and all that stuff of everybody around.
And they do premise it with reserving the right of freedom of speech. So,
but in Canada, you have rights and responsibilities. It's not just rights. Like in America, you just have rights.
Yes.
But in Canada, you learn about rights and responsibilities because this is a place built on social contracts, right?
Right. So if you have the right to freedom of speech and a responsibility to have that, to not to hurt, but you have to have the responsibility to abide by the law while reserving your right to freedom of speech. Okay. So you look at these guys and they're protected by the police, but
because they are the police. Sorry.
But they're also spreading hate. Yeah, you sliding right in there. You really put those pot shots in there.
Pow!
Oh, they're gonna yeah. So I just think that these guys, like even when I was working in Calgary, and one of the guys that was working for the company that I was working with, he was working there. So and he was an electrician. I was doing plumbing. Mm-hmm. So I came up. He's working for the same company. I'm working for the same company. I came and introduced myself. I said, "Hey man, my name's Nigel." He looked at my hand. He goes, "Mm-hmm." I said, "What?" I said, "Okay, man, here."
Okay.
I said, "Hey, my name's Nigel." He's like, "Yeah, all right, cool." And he never shook my hand. So I was like, okay, that's weird. He's acting a little weird. Maybe it's the electrician-plumber rivalry that people talk about that I've never seen.
Electricians and plumbers are rivals.
We do have a rivalry.
Okay. Didn't know. It seems weird.
It's
not
untold.
Overlapping, kind of.
So, anyways, as we went through that, it gets dicey.
Boop, 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 boop.
I gotta finish that story.
Yeah. I think
I could start off finishing it off.
Yeah.
And then we can go into the next set, I guess.
Do you have more to say? Yeah, continue. Definitely.
We could go another 5.
What do the people say? Soldiers of chumps. That's my friend Sasha. That's
what people be talking about.
Yeah, soldiers of chumps.
Chumps of the soldiers. Okay, let's see where we're at here.
Actually, my friend Sasha's on here. Man,
what?
Here you go with this.
Listen, leave me alone with the Facebooks.
When I was at Sasha's place one time. It was the first time Sasha went through all these places around the city and was like, "Oh yeah, that was Chief, and that was this, and that was this," like really telling me what the names, like the Yellowhead. Mm-hmm. We should learn that in social, bro. How do I not know anything about the Yellowhead except that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Yellowhead is like, there's a lot of history in the Yellowhead. Like, it's already a trail. Who is Yellowhead? Like, who's that person's head? They don't teach us none of that stuff. You don't feel like you should know that?
Yeah, man.
So whack.
They don't teach a lot of stuff, okay?
Wow.
They don't teach a lot.
They sure don't. But I feel like, yo, that's fucking basic, yo. How many years are we gonna learn about the Vikings? The Vikings, kid.
You learned about the Vikings?
Yes, many times.
I never learned about the Vikings. You know what I learned about? Pierogies and Ukrainians. And John A. McDonald.
John A. McDonald was Ukrainian?
No, I said and John A. He probably was too. I don't know.
I'm like, okay, all right. They've been up here. Oh, no. Okay. Bye. No. Sons of Oden. No, soldiers.
Soldiers of Oden. It's on the newspaper. That's how I know.
It says soldiers on there?
On the back of his jacket.
Okay. What's that guy's name? Bashir?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a guy in Edmonton who... Can somebody help me with this? Anybody who can see this? Yes, Sasha, your ancestor. My friend Sasha's ancestor is Chief Yellowhead. I don't know if I'm saying it right, Sasha. You can tell me. But that's his great something. Grand something. Excuse me. Not recording that. The loudest cough in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna start off by finishing the story?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not ready yet. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna do it again.
Darren Jordan, I need that Jamal thing, man. I asked you for that Jamal. So anyways, so I get back to Edmonton. We're in Calgary, we're working. I get back to Edmonton, and this guy who works for the same company, who's giving me the cold shoulder, he has to go to another spot. So we both get back to Edmonton with our plumbing vans. Mm-hmm. He drives off. He has to go to Wainwright, Alberta. But he's parked his vehicle in a bad spot. So they're like, Nigel, this guy has a breathalyzer thing inside his car.
So he has to blow it in order to go.
So I've got to blow it to move his vehicle out of the way because he's parked it in the wrong spot.
Are you drunk or not?
I'm definitely not drunk at this time.
Okay.
So when I'm sitting here about to get in, on the back of his car is a tint, is a black on black tint with an eagle, and in the center is a swastika.
Damn!
Right in the center.
I didn't even expect that part of the story.
So I realized this guy, this is why he wouldn't. I don't even think he would have approved of me blowing in his breathalyzer thing for his car.
Did he just find out right now?
Yeah.
He's probably pissed.
He probably is watching this. For those of you tuning in on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, we are here on the podcast, the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. And we are talking about lots of things. Hello, all you people in Facebook land and the internets. So yes, this guy was here, and that was what was on the back of swastika. I went back in, I said, did you know that this guy...
Yo, there was a guy in high school who can probably hear this. His name's... I shouldn't say his name.
Really?
I was so close. I'm like, I don't know what the legalities here are in Canada, so I'm not going to say his name. So this guy drove around. I'm going to turn you off now. It's my turn. This guy drove around Beaumont and had what's that thing called? What's the rebel flag called? They call it the rebel flag. The stars and bars, the Confederate flag. Mm-hmm, he had a Confederate flag draped in the back of his window, but he'd be like, boop, boop, hey! And I'm like, my nigga, you do not fuck with me. As for the whole flag in your back window, what are you doing?
I think that's a huge thing. The Confederate flag is...
It's weird that they even use Confederate flags in Canada, because didn't Canada battle the Confederate States at one point, like the British Union? Didn't that whole thing happen?
The Confederate flag is huge down here because people look at it as rebellion. Because of the Dukes of Hazzard, stuff shows from there. They look at it as rebels, rebellion. Hey everyone, Dave, Kenneth, Darren, everybody in Facebook land. Anyways, so I had a journeyman once. He was First Nations, and he was tall. He was like 6'6", and he was huge. And we would talk all the time, and he was laugh. And one day, when it was summertime, because I met him in the winter, he took off his shirt, and he had a tattoo of the Confederate flag on his arm. And I was like, dude, do you know what that means? He's like, what? I'm a rebel. I'm like, nah, you're not a rebel, bro. You just not that bright. That's
no, sir.
I really did.
So in the States, like being in the South and seeing...
Hi, Don.
And seeing the Confederate flag, a lot of people say it's about heritage, it's about the Confederacy and the Confederate States. We know that it's really about slavery, like actually. But seeing it in Canada is so bizarre. And there's a Canadian version where instead of the stars, they're freaking maple leaves.
Right.
What is that? I was like, what is this? I have more Confederate flags around my house on 118 Avenue in Edmonton, Alberta than in Raleigh, North Carolina.
But you know what? I don't know if that's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's fact.
I guarantee you. I see more Confederate flags around my house now than I did in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Ken says that's scary.
It's facts. It's facts.
Wow. We are on facts here.
Super facts. It's so crazy though.
It's nuts.
I'm like, okay, y'all be about that. Cool.
For those of you,
Sure.
Nathan, what's up, bro? For those of you turning in, this is a podcast. It is called the Black Multiverse Theory.
The Black Multiverse Theory. Available on all podcast platforms.
Yes.
Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor.
Ken says the Confederate flag is an icon to some of heritage and others hate.
No.
Endorsement of hatred.
It is an endorsement of hatred.
You like my glasses, Ronald? Thanks, bro. Hatred to minorities.
The Confederate flag, when people say it's about heritage, it's about slavery. Like the Confederacy, that is what the southern and northern states were fighting about, slavery. There's no other thing. So I'm not even gonna discuss.
Yeah, I know.
Heritage. Okay. So
for those of us who have been to the States or lived there, that's right, Ken. Black Multiverse Theory. That's what it is. We're on a lot of things. Shella, hey, how's it going?
Hi, everybody.
Shella.
You know.
Oh, good. Shella's on here. You need my glasses, Ronald? Come and get them, brother. Come and get them. They're right here.
Tell me when you're ready. We'll move on to the next section.
We're moving on to the next section of the podcast.
Are we going to keep talking about these people or what?
We could still talk. I mean, we could go on forever about this.
We have time. Ooh, sorry, y'all. Okay. We were talking about Sons of Oden. Rotate your device.
For those of you who are on the internets and you are watching, I am with my co-host NiLo.
Hello, everyone.
She is on here with me. We are talking about all sorts of stuff today, all things Black related and world related. So we have just finished a portion of the segment about the soldiers of Oden here in Edmonton. So we're about to start on the next section.
I'll be done in 1 second, sorry. Just trying to pull up some information. So I'm not talking out of my ass.
The thing about it is Ken saying that he fears going stateside because of that. Now
facts. I've had guns in my face, so it's a fear. Now be afraid.
He goes, now with Trump in there, he doesn't care to visit, and I get that.
I haven't gone back since
feel safe.
Yeah, I haven't gone back since Trump has been in. Honestly.
Shella says, "Hello, NiLo."
Hey, y'all.
I like how you spelled it, but it's NILO.
Just
both Ronald and Shella.
People are inboxing me, like, don't DM me. Just don't. What? Hey, lady. What are you doing? Okay. All right.
People want to see NiLo. Okay, I'll show you NiLo very quickly.
Very, very quickly.
Very briefly. We'll flip it around. Boop.
Hola, everyone. Here I am.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going to continue. We normally, this is the second episode, or episode 1. Episode 0 was the test pilot. That was last week.
That was.
You can find us on Stitcher, Google Play. We are trying to get to, I think by next week we should be on iTunes. And
we'll be here every Tuesday night on live trying to figure this thing out. So you could, if you just tune in every week, you'll probably learn how to podcast. Yes, we are learning also.
We are learning this every Tuesday. We're mixing. Everything is going crazy. So
yes,
every Tuesday we'll be here live, figuring it out. We will be posting it. After that, within the next 24 to 48 hours, it should be up.
Thursday.
But the live broadcast, the video broadcast portion of the podcast is now.
So I didn't do it on YouTube because you said you didn't mind it not being on YouTube, right?
What? No, I said
you were
go
like,
ahead.
I don't mind that Facebook deletes it. So I left it on Facebook.
Not what I meant, but okay, cool.
We know for next time.
Next time we'll also have it on YouTube Live, which we'll post also on Facebook.
I can't find what this guy said. Apparently the owner took it down.
Shella says she goes to the States for the shopping. And I get it. The shopping, if Ken is still on there, the shopping is impeccable. In LA, if you go to Camarilla Mall, that's fantastic. If you're in Florida and you go to the swap shop, you got lots of different places you can go. You can go to the, what's it called? Alligator Mall.
Yeah? In New York, you go to Florida for shopping too.
Sawgrass Mills Mall. TJ. Oh, Gabby D's in. Darren Jordan's back on.
Anyway, I'm just gonna wing it. I can't find what he said. So
okay, well, what's our next section? What's our next section?
On the scroll.
All right, we're going to the scroll. Scroll is talking about your social media scrolls, your walls.
What are we talking about today? All of these people are like, who cares? Celebrities, blah, blah, blah. But I care a little bit. It's entertaining.
Hey, Gabby D. So on the scroll today...
Wait, I'm not ready.
Okay, we're not ready. Okay.
No.
So, for those of you who are talking about the scroll, there's certain highlights that happen in the scroll. So we want to get a little bit of input on that as well.
I'm going to make you say that over again because it sounds good. We didn't talk about the scroll last time.
Okay.
And go.
All right, so... this section, we are talking about the scroll. The scroll is basically your social media outlets that give us our news. We will be listening and watching celebrities and different things.
Pretty much whatever floats by there.
Whatever floats by.
I'm like, I want to talk about
We
this.
might pick a topic, a lot of people have heard about the R. Kelly scandal, all different stuff. A lot of people have a lot
I have to say that R. Kelly
these.
is not on my scroll right now for some reason. Like,
He's not.
that trial is definitely still going on, but it's not on anybody's radar. Like, nobody's talking about
Same thing happened to Bill Cosby.
Man.
When Bill Cosby went on it first, everybody was like, what? All these people are on there. And then all of a sudden Bill Cosby disappeared. And then he came back when the convictions started, or when they dropped everybody, then everybody's like, they dropped all the charges. And then they brought him back with some more convictions. So it's the way how media and social media, whatever's hot, comes up on
I vaguely remember seeing the stuff that was happening during the Cosby trial. Like, I remember stuff coming out about what's happening. I don't know anything about what's happening with R. Kelly right now. I don't even know if he's in trial. Is he in jail? Is he free? Where is that guy?
Last time I heard, he was in jail, but somebody again posted the bond for him, and he was able to
out again, and this another person.
Yes, again.
Okay,
that's the last thing I heard from the scroll. But what we want to talk about today on the scroll is
Russell Wilson. I want to talk about Russell Wilson.
We're talking about Russell Wilson,
who I'm referring to as Stepdaddy Shark.
Stepdaddy Shark.
He came from Future. Wow.
So, for those of you who don't know who Russell Wilson is a football player.
Yeah,
I believe
he's on Seattle.
Who married Ciara the singer?
She's so beautiful.
Yeah, she's got
legs for years.
She's got the moves. She's got the
all
grooves.
The moves.
She's got a package going on.
Definitely.
The whole package, right? So she was in a relationship with Future.
Well, I don't know if it was a relationship.
So if you don't know who Future is, Future.
Sing one Future song. I couldn't even.
Future is a rapper who raps the trap music. so
he's such a dad. Is that the trap music you're listening to?
Get that trap out of here.
It's trap because it rhymes with crap.
So. Yes, I got the dad. Hey, Marsha, how's it going? So, Future and Ciara had a bump in the road called a small relationship, wherewith they had a child. They have a child together. So
Future Junior.
So in having this child, of course, the relationship went awry. They went their separate ways.
They did.
But
Future was just a jerk the entire time about the whole thing. I want to use all kinds of other words. I'm not even going to lie. But this guy was so whack. He's like, he always was like releasing stuff. I can't even tell you because I don't even like pay that I can't even quote the guy. But he was always about how Russell Wilson was lame, XYZ. But then Russell Wilson went ahead and signed the biggest contract that any quarterback has ever signed in the history of the NFL or something.
Exactly. So Russell Wilson did his thing
and got his bag
and came up on their
general come up. That's the biggest come up ever.
He just came up and matched Ciara's fame and fortune and trifecta.
I feel like they were on the same level before though.
Yeah, they were.
So this guy Russell Wilson was like, "Oh, yo, Future, you don't have to pay that little bit of money anymore because it's."
Hold up. Before we get to this, you want to get to the Mako?
Yes.
You trying to get to the Mako?
I want to get straight to the Mako right now.
But it's not. You have to know a little bit about Russell. Russell, first of all, I told you about Future. Russell.
Oh, he is.
He's
a church guy.
He's a church boy.
Yes, that's your tribe.
And so because of him being a church boy, you don't see him getting involved in a lot of these. He said, she said.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's been quiet the whole time.
Been very quiet. Future's been very open, very loud about different things.
Very vocal.
So there's.
That's why we should have done it in the other thing.
Okay, so I'll go back to that and I'll say that portion. Hi, everyone.
You definitely shout people out in the middle of the recording.
Yeah.
Hey, Marsha!
Marsha's still on.
Hey, Marsha!
What's up?
Marsha gets a shout out in the middle of the podcast.
Listen, it's a podcast. It's a podcast.
It's a community podcast.
It's a community podcast.
Yes.
I'm shouting out the people in the community, my Facebook community.
Okay, guys, if you're just joining us this evening, hi, good night. It's the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. I'm here with this gentleman right here, Mr. Nigel Williams.
Yo, what's up?
And I've dubbed myself the voice of the people. Actually, Nigel dubbed me the voice of the people. I accepted it.
she doesn't accept a
like
lot of
a
the things
knighting.
that I dub.
I almost never accept anything. But the voice of the people, I'll take it. I'm told I say what people want to say. And Nigel says what people are supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop, boop. On the scroll.
Except when it comes to pronouns, then we switch spots.
Damn, I'm telling you, if you just say that, it covers everything.
All right, I'll talk to them when I see they.
You're so ridiculous. I swear. You're such a Caribbean dad. What? You are. You're like the quintessential Caribbean dad.
Whatever, man. Okay. So those of you joining up, this is the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. I think I've been talking about podcasting for
15 years. That's the math. You've been saying 10.
Well,
radioing.
But radioing, definitely. So this is the start of things to come.
Big things. Okay, so we're going to start recording. After you're like, yeah, you want to get into the macro, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, let me tell you about Russell Wilson. Not okay. Russell Simmons.
So you just want to get into the macro, but
I do.
Honestly, it's really about Russell Wilson.
Okay.
And Russell Wilson is a church boy.
That's your tribe. Yeah.
So because he's a church boy, he hasn't been getting into the mix with Future and all this stuff.
Right. And Future's been super vocal.
Super.
Can't keep his mouth shut.
Super vocal about everything.
Always got something to say.
His son and blah, blah, blah. And Russell's just been sitting there in the paint. Just doing his thing. So now he's on this come up. He's signed the biggest deal. He's doing all his stuff.
He's not on the come up. He came up. He came up already.
He came up. Fine. He came up, but he's still up. So at this point, now he has voiced his opinion this week.
Which is wonderful. So
go ahead, take it away. What did he say?
And I'm paraphrasing. This thing, Russell, not to be confused with Russell Simmons, Russell Wilson was like, you can actually go ahead and keep that little bit of money. Because I'm tired of seeing my wife and my son. I'm like, oh, okay, he said my son, stress about this money. He said, obviously you need it more than we do because you have other children out there in need. And then he said, we're set for generations ahead of us. Yep. I was like, oh, okay. I think he hurt my feelings.
I just like the beauty that he took Future's son and said,
my son.
This is my wife and my son. And
I'm tired of seeing them stress over your little bit of money.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't need your child support. I don't need nothing.
You good.
I don't need your drama because the drama comes with the money. So
right. She's like, I'm tired of her stressing and crying.
He's set.
Meanwhile, Sierra's out having breakfast. Oh, it's breakfast. We're on the breakfast swag. And they're on like a yacht.
Yeah, his personal yacht. Drinking orange juice and mango.
Out of champagne glasses, I know it.
I'm like, damn, hashtag breakfast. No, that's not my breakfast. My breakfast is at home with my children. I don't know about no yacht life. Any of you on a yacht life?
Yeah, who's on a yacht right now?
Anybody on a yacht? Jeremy, maybe you on a yacht? Anybody?
Breakfast.
So that's basically the situation on The Scroll this week.
I want to talk about this fire in Notre Dame. I want to hear what you have to say as a tradesman.
Listen, that's another thing.
Okay, so just real quick. So some guy left his tool of some kind
plugged in
to the roof, I guess, and then that shit went on fire.
And I don't get how that works. Like your tools, modern tools nowadays have insulators. They have a bunch of things that you are that protect against fire. So unless he was using an iron up there on an ironing board, I don't understand how he caught the
entire place
on fire.
But the craziest thing is that millionaires were like, here's $1 billion. Or I guess, I don't know if they were millionaires or billionaires that did that. Like, here's $1 billion. Because we know traditionally the Catholic Church is a very poor group.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They're so poor.
They're so poor. So they needed crowdfunding.
I don't get what happened here.
So insane.
But the problem I have that stems from this is the only problem I have, is, okay, so this accident happens, it's tragic. A monument gets burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
But then the problem comes in is they raised like $800 million in a week.
It was faster than that.
Like within that week.
Yeah.
Listen, look, I don't care how fast it was.
Yo.
$800 million.
Think about all of the things that could have been solved immediately.
Like hunger, toilets, water for people.
General sanitation. Hospitals.
Books for schools, for children. Oprah school. There probably needs books in that right now. Like, these things could have solved tons of problems. I'm just saying, I feel that
they were like, oh no, the roof.
I feel that it is God's divine purpose.
No. God was like,
allows that to happen.
God was like, look at these niggas. Watch what happens. Watch what happens when I set the roof of this
on fire.
What would God call it?
I don't know. I can't tell you that. I love the fact, I never want to see anybody get hurt, and I never want to see anything to go through with that that causes pain to anybody. Some people go to a place and that's where their lives have been changed. Right? So that's why people go to church, lots of different things. So.
But Notre Dame, though.
But Notre Dame.
I'm sure they're fine.
But Notre Dame. Let me ask a question, though. Isn't that the same church where Quasimodo rang the bell?
Same one.
In Disney?
Exactly.
It's the same one right there?
It may have been that nigga.
Maybe it was Quasi. Maybe Quasi was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
I'm not going to say I didn't suspect him. I'm not going to say...
I just feel... I feel like the electrical was shoddy, so you were renovating the electrical, so you should never have, whatever. I just feel, right? You're in there for a job. You're in there for a job.
Yo, I have to press play now, because I want to ask you. I have to press play so I can ask you this.
Jeremy said his daughter was barely made it out. She was there.
Of Notre Dame?
Yeah, it's my cousin.
Wow. Okay.
Jeremy, was she inside the Notre Dame, the church? Jeremy, was she inside the church? Let me know if she was inside. Was she inside the church and she barely made it out?
Caitlin said Red Bull should be sponsoring us. So, if Red Bull, if you're watching this. multiversepod@gmail.com.
Red Bull should be sponsored.
So I have to ask you this as a tradesman. Okay, ready? So you leave your tool plugged in, your iron.
Yeah.
And you set the roof of the church on fire. Mm-hmm. Are you telling?
Telling who? Let me say something. Let me tell you something. I go to church every Sunday. I try to get to church.
Forgiveness. That's what they say.
Every Sunday I try to get to church. But let me tell you something. I'm not gonna say nothing. You're gonna see me deny that tool like Peter.
Deny.
Like Peter. You're gonna see me deny it to what tool? Whose tool is that? I don't know that tool.
Who would put an iron in here?
I don't know what. I feel like the electrical was what they were repairing.
That's why.
It must have been
set on fire.
Yeah, it must have been dodgy electrical.
Well, it's old place before electricity, so probably.
Yeah, but if you're replacing electrical, then it should be in the budget. I mean, maybe they're cutting corners, but it should be in the budget for a generator of some sort.
Oh yeah.
To be on the ground.
Do we even know like what it was that the guy, like what was plugged in, or like they don't know what it was, do they? I feel like we're so uninformed.
Yeah, I don't.
It's on the scroll, so this is like exactly about how much I know of it as I scrolled through my page. I was like, oh, somebody's old church, Kay.
Yo, my
Meanwhile, all of civilization.
My cousin Jeremy's daughter was on a field trip out there.
In Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
He said when it started, they barely made it out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow, that's a local connection.
Yeah. Well, he's not here.
Oh,
he's in the States.
He's in the States.
Yeah.
That's right. That makes sense.
I think, Jeremy, are you still in the States? Where are you at, bro? So, anyways, not to make light of the situation, I just feel as a tradesman here, maybe in Europe, they may do things a little bit different, but there's a budget that comes in when you're replacing something that you have something else. If you're replacing toilets in a facility, then you have to provide porta potties for the people.
Oh, in the meantime.
In the meantime, something for them to wash their hands, something for them to do at least hand sanitizer, something for the electrical, you should have a generator, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the Notre Dame story right there.
Wow. So, are you a Game of Thrones guy?
No.
Okay, I messed with Game of Thrones. I slept through the first episode. I was like, oh, I gotta come back to this.
First episode of the last season here?
This one that just started, season 8.
I started out Game of Thrones in the first season, and by the end of the first season, all my favorite characters died.
No spoilers.
Drago, all these people died.
You haven't watched it by now.
All these people died. I said, forget it. I can't invest this time, and you killing off all my people.
You're over it. I'm glad. I'm actually ready for it to be over. I didn't realize I was until the season started. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this to be done.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen Us yet? No.
Yeah, Us. I listen.
You have to take your girls. I have another one. Sorry not to cut you. Little. You have to take your girls to see that. I don't know if they watch movies yet.
Oh, my girls watch lots of movies. They especially love grown-up movies with a lot of.
You should take them to see
grown-up activity. So.
They like watching adults make out.
They actually do. They like love. They're all about love.
Oh,
stories.
That's adorable. I love it.
What we call chick flicks. My 7-year-olds, they love it.
I bet you they would love that movie, Little, though. That's with Marseille Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the opposite of Big.
I think they might.
Yeah, she's adorable. I love her. She's brilliant.
It would be one of the ones on the list that I would definitely try and get them to see.
Yeah.
I definitely. The director is the little girl.
Marseille Martin, yeah.
What's her name?
Marseille Martin.
Marseille Martin
from Blackish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Marseille Martin from Blackish.
Youngest producer and director, I think, in ever in history.
And I love her in Blackish. I love the stuff that she does and the way how she looks at the camera. She's hilarious. Yeah,
she's natural comedy, comedic way about her.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like her being able to do this and her being on there. Sham, what's up, Sham? So for those of you tuning in right now, from the internets and all around the world, this is the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. You know why a lot of people tuned in tonight? Because it was before 1 o'clock last time.
It was definitely 2 o'clock in the morning in some places.
Late. And you know what? I trump all people when it comes to different topics because, as Sham said, I got 4 kids. That's it. Nobody can say anything to me. That's it. Right, Sham?
But you're also like grown.
Yes, I'm definitely grown. So, I am.
Sasha said that they raised $625 million in a couple of days.
Yeah, for the Notre Dame.
Yeah, for Notre Dame.
So,
he said, imagine what we could do with that money. Like the whole sexual abuse thing with the priests. We're still uploading 9 years later. It's hyper fast.
Honestly,
shock connection.
Honestly, I don't get how people raise
that much money.
You
know what?
It's just how people are.
I think it's,
Ray, I'm going to check that thing out.
I think it's millionaire based, but there's a focus on philanthropy versus taxes. And realistically, if all the millionaires and the billionaires paid taxes properly, we wouldn't actually need that much philanthropy. But the problem now is people are not paying their taxes.
Yeah.
Are you shooting gang signs into the...
No. That's me telling the people in the internet land, okay. Ray and Sham and Jeremy, thumbs up, what's up, A-OK.
Hi, everybody who's just tuning in. Luigi, we're not even going to have a conversation right now on this screen. To the Black Multiverse Theory, a podcast, a weekly podcast, where we two Black Canadians are going to talk about employer right. Whiteness always upholds whiteness. Agreed. We're going to it does.
We're going to talk about topics in Black culture and
global, local,
global. Yeah. We're going to talk about it all.
All the ways that we experience this world.
What's up, Ray?
It's Black Canadians. You know what they told me in school that Black people spoke French, I would have been way more interested. I did take all of the French, like all through 12th grade, but I didn't know that there was like most of Africa and like heavy in the Caribbean people speaking French. I didn't know that in high school.
Heavy.
I just thought it was like, another white man's language. I didn't understand colonization.
And this may be a topic for maybe another portion of another podcast, but a lot of people do that to us in Black culture by pairing us as one particular type of thing. So a lot of people will say, where you from? And then when you say you're from Canada, they'll say, no, but really, where you from? And then you have to delve back into your heritage. And then you say, well, I say my mom is from Trinidad and my dad is from Trinidad. So a lot of people don't relate to these different things because your mom and your dad, they were born in Trinidad, right? But my mom's parents, my grandma was born in Grenada, and my granddad was from...
Didn't say bye!
He was from Dominica.
Oh, wrong one.
He was from Dominica. So when you look at these two people, you know, my mom's not saying she's from Grenada. She's not saying she's from where her parents are from. She's like, I'm from Trinidad.
Oh, yeah, she's Trini.
Right? So a lot of our people, and even the generation that's coming after us, they have to relate to whatever.
But it's different. In Canada, they hyphenate your race. So they're like, oh, you're blah, 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 hyphen Canadian. You're blah, you know what I mean? Like you're Chinese hyphen Canadian or you're Black hyphen Canadian. But in the Caribbean, you are. The Chinese Jamaicans, you can't tell them they're Chinese Jamaicans. They're Jamaicans.
But let me tell you something. In Canada, even though on paper there may be a hyphen, you Black,
you Black,
or you white,
you Black,
or you Chinese.
Right, period.
They don't care what part of Asia you're from, you Chinese.
Right, they do not
That's
care.
what it is. The racism is alive and well. So that's how.
Hello, they rounded these people up. I was like, all you slanty eyes, to the mountains with you. We will just take all your things. Canada did that.
Canada has done a lot of things. A lot of things. But you know what? What we are doing with it now is important. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's important to vote. We talked about that on the last podcast.
We did talk about voting.
So we talked about that. It's important to voice your opinion and make sure that the politicians and the candidates that you vote for are speaking your language.
It's true. Or that you are a candidate, or that you support movements in some way. I like to be adjacent to things. I like to be government adjacent. I like to have the grassroots and do the work and be a conspirator in the work. I don't necessarily like to actively participate in the system.
Yeah,
But
I hear what you're saying. You don't like to vote. So, yeah, I get you. I get you.
you don't know me.
You one of the black people.
You don't know me. Wow, that was crazy.
You can't keep the table like
I didn't know. Now I do, though.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So,
What are we moving on to? So we did on the scroll.
yeah, we're on the scroll.
You want to keep scrolling or what? We did 3 of them already, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let's move on to upcoming events pretty much. Yeah?
Sham saying we must recognize differences and celebrate it at the same time. It's true.
Yeah.
We got to recognize all the differences. That's the whole point of a podcast like this. It's the whole point of standing out in your community is by recognizing the differences that we all come from different places, but we recognize and respect them. Straight up. My cousin says he's from England, and of course our parents are from Trinidad, so he has a long time of discussion on it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, does he identify as Trini or as British?
Jeremy, do you identify as Trini or do you identify as British? Let us know.
Yeah.
What's next on the
Usually,
on the doc?
usually what happens is when they say British or Canadian, they're talking about white people. When they say immigrant, that's when they're
Talking
referring
about
to
us. Immigrants. Okay. No immigrants. Want to keep the immigrants out.
Well, that's what they're trying to do now. All they have to do is have more kids.
That's true.
Because we're only here because y'all need some kind of social security at your elderly age. So you can do one or two things. You can get rid of socialized medicine. You can forget about your old age security, CPP. Or you can have more kids. That's how you get rid of immigrants. Any of those 3 will work.
All these things that you're saying, nobody's going to do. Like, none of these 3 options.
Obviously.
Nobody's thinking about doing that.
But literally, you don't want immigrants anymore. Have some more kids. Or forget socialized medicine. And or CPP. Right?
My cousin is saying that he is, he's Trini.
So he identifies as Trini.
But he does claim England. Right?
So
and a lot of people do that. They claim...
What flag does he raise at the Soca Fest?
Jeremy NiLo wants to know what flag you raise at the Soca Fest.
That's how I know.
Yeah? Do you raise up, yo, I'm from England, Britain. Yo, bro. You say, yo, bro, this is what's going on, eh? What's happening, eh?
Really good.
Is that what you do? Or are you like, all you need to raise up, put the flag up there. Raise it up high, push up, wind up.
We actually have a lot of people who come to Feds at Edmonton, and they're like waving flags that are not their flags.
I think that's an issue.
It's different. It's different because you're supposed to be repping your flag. So, like, coming with a whole other country's flag is a little bit different.
Jeremy says he's Trinity to the bone. Yes.
Black
yes.
and white.
Yes.
All right. What you got coming up? It's the same stuff as last week, but last week was a test episode. So, Friday, Saturday. What do you got on Saturday, Nigel?
So we got Saturday in the day at Boyle Street Plaza. For those of you who are in the Edmonton region, we have the Edmonton Natural Hair Show. So if anybody's out there, the Natural Hair Show starts on the Saturday. Come on down to Boyle Street Plaza.
That's always downtown. A good time.
So the time to come down is like
9, 10.
I think it's 10 o'clock. I'll have to check. So I gotta MC the event. So it is gonna be crazy. And this year on the Sunday, because it's a 2-day event, so it's Saturday and the Sunday, both the 27th and the 28th. Shout out to my moms whose birthday's on April 27th. Shout out to my moms. So the 27th and the 28th, on the 28th is a barber battle. So all the barbers are coming. I'm actually going to get these hairs trimmed a little bit. I'm going to get a little nice little something going on for the weekend. We also have at my church, Bethel United, there's the men's conference, which is also on the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Unfortunately, I can't be there, but I'm inviting everyone to come out to that. Those for the nighttime. And then also on the 27th, we have my co-host, NiLo, is doing, what you doing?
We're doing a natural hair social at Aphrodisiac. It's actually the grand reopening and really introduction of Aphrodisiac Loft. I'm really excited. It's a nice big space. It's going to be a collective use space. And I'm looking forward to like seeing everybody, meeting everybody. I'm terrified that no one will show up, which we've talked about more than once. Yeah, that's true. But I have here, just to rewind, and that's actually going to be 5 to 9. I have here that the Edmonton Natural Hair Show starts at 1 p.m. to 6.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Oh, it's a late start this year.
It's a later start. I thought it was 1, but it kind of tricked me this year. So yeah. I thought it was 1. So now we know. So those who are in the Edmonton area, the Natural Hair Show starts at 1. I will be there promptly about 12 or before that to help with setup.
Right.
So we'll have there's food gonna be there. There's gonna be music, live music going on there. NiLo's kind of downplaying what's happening. So for those of you who don't realize what's happening, she is doing the grand reopening of her shop. This place is a loft. It's going to be the party starting up here. We're going to have music. We're going to have tables. We're going to have treats, hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Do you remember the first time you saw that word? Because I do. I was like, what the fuck?
Hors
And
d'oeuvres.
I'm a reader. I'm an avid reader. Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. So, yes.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes. Shakira. What's up? So, we have that going on. After that, is May 18th. I have the Come to Worship gospel concert with Jamaica reggae styles that will be coming, gospel reggae styles, which will be amazing. I'm going to be live in the church. You got to bring your rug. Make sure you bring your rug. Make sure you bring a sweat rag and sweat out, blow, blow, blow. Fire, fire, fire.
Blow for Jesus.
It's going to be hot out on those streets. So normally, last year was amazing. We're trying to pack out the house. So those of you who will be in town, that is the weekend of May 18th. Did I say the 19th?
Sorry, missed it.
You missed it? All right, cool. So that weekend, it is the Saturday of that. So that will be happening. May 23rd is my birthday. That's all that's happening. This is happening.
We're gonna have this podcast launch soon.
Yeah, we're gonna try podcasting and do a podcast launch, and those are the events that I will be at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caitlin says hi. She waved a little pink hand at you.
Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin.
Okay. We're actually, believe it or not, Nigel, what's in your ear? Do you have any art or anything that you're listening to or whatever? That's what we're going into next.
In my ear.
Don't say it yet.
Don't say it yet.
Because I didn't start.
We are going to talk about what I'm listening to, what we are watching,
and
what
boy,
we are
I'm
reading.
so glad that you love this. This is for you. This is for us.
Jeremy says that NiLo is very intelligent, outspoken, and well prepared.
Okay, Jeremy.
That's what he said.
All right.
That's what he said. Jeremy, you should see the smile on her face. You know how to charm them women, Jeremy.
Okay.
Good job, buddy.
All right. Where's Jeremy again? He's in Florida?
No, actually, Jeremy corrected me. He's no longer in the States. He's in Puerto Rico.
I love Puerto Rico, actually. One of the best places I've ever been.
There you go, Jeremy.
That's so much fun.
Shout out to the Puerto Rico.
We went to El Yunque. I actually learned how to swim as a grown person in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
I rented a car in Old San Juan. And we drove. And we went to the bioluminescent bay.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen that before?
On TV.
It's It's such a mind trip. Like, it's crazy. But then when they're out there, like, you go through the mangrove trees and stuff. And I turned my, so the mangrove trees are like, they're essentially these trees and the roots grow together and then they come down and they make land, right? So as the roots are coming down, it's like they form these tunnels that where you go from the inside of the bay to like the outside, right? To like the main bay or what have you.
Right.
So the whole place is the water is like, as you go through it, it's like twinkling and stuff. So as your boat is displacing the water, this bacteria is like activating pretty much. So as we're going through this thing, I turn sideways and I'm like in the front. Everybody's canoe hits my canoe. Boom, 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 boom. And I just cog up this entire mangrove.
Why, you stopped?
I just got stuck because my canoe went sideways and then I was just like...
And everybody hit your canoe?
Everybody's like... Da, 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 da. So I turn around and I'm there with my boy Rich, right? And I'm like, yo, go, 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 go. And we're like trying to drag him away from everybody so we don't have to face the awkwardness of the fact that we just like totally... messed up the whole thing, but it was so much fun. Like, Puerto Rico is definitely one of the dopest places to go. Like,
nice.
Yeah.
I want to go there one day.
It's cheap too.
Yeah, I have 4 kids.
When you live in, yeah, that's right.
Nothing's ever cheap.
You're like, yeah, times 4, times 5,
whatever
times 6.
you paid times 6.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Taro, what's up, Coach?
What are you listening? Hold on, I'm not ready yet, but I'm gonna ask you in a second. Yeah, thanks. Everybody's so happy. They enjoy it. They love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love this, they said. So we'll have to just do this every week.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
I'm so excited. I get excited for podcasting. I start going through episodes in my mind as I'm doing my walks in the morning. I'm like planning out how we're going through. It never turns out the way I planned it. Not at all.
For those of you tuning in on the live channels and the internets and all the good stuff,
Yeah.
Facebook Live, we will be podcasting. This is our podcast. It is called The Black Multiverse Theory. And it just talks about...
Really
it was good. We got to do this
We
more.
got to do that.
So it
It was recording. Yes.
By the way, we are learning how to do this
As we go.
As we go.
So you're going to learn with us.
So you probably be able to do a podcast yourself by the time it's finished.
By the time you're done, we'll all be podcasting.
So this is not our first episode, but it is episode 1. We did a trial episode last week. You could watch that. We are on different platforms right now.
We're on Stitcher. I'm really excited about that because I get my podcast from Stitcher. So particularly excited about that.
We are on Stitcher. We are on, are we on the Spotify yet?
We are on Spotify, yeah.
We're on the Spotify. We are on Google Play, I believe.
On the internet.
You
can find us at blackmultiverse.com.
So blackmultiverse.com if you want to get on board. Yeah. Jump in there, sign up. We have newsletters telling you where we are going to be, and you can book the 2 of us for events.
There's a section we forgot.
You need us to MC or do any type of thing.
You can absolutely book us.
You can book us for that. Mm-hmm. So what did we forget?
Well, we have our natural hair corner, our shop talk, because Janet from Brooklyn, who I used to work with at Grant Associates. Shout out to everybody at Grant. Anybody who's tuning in to this, like, that was another life altogether. But y'all, we did some stuff together. But Janet was asking about her edges. Because I said, hey, y'all, let me know what questions you have.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So Janet wants to know about the whole edges deal. Now, we have a hair show that's happening this weekend as well. There will be people there. But right now, on this show, on this podcast right now,
every week,
tell us about these edges. What do I have 2 little girls?
The edges. So first of all, I want to be clear about what this is. So every week, we are going to be answering natural hair questions if you have any. So you can get those questions as really any way you can. Black Multiverse Pod blackmultiverse.com. You can post them in Black Multiverse, the Facebook group. You have to ask to join, but if you ask to join, we'll let you in. It's a FUBU group. And you can get us your questions, and I'm gonna answer them and give you some tips every week. So Janet wants to know about her edges. The sides have pulled out a little bit, and she wants to know what she can do to grow them back. So first I want to talk about just generally the edges of your hair are, for the most part, a lot finer and softer than the rest of your hair. When I say the edges, I mean the front, but it also, people who have damage in the front typically also have challenges with the lower nape of their neck. And so that can come from product damage, it can come from styling, from pulling hair too tight. Also, there's this trend, I guess, of slicking down your edges. We've been doing it for a long time. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the products that we use for that can be petroleum based, it can be alcohol based, which it goes a long way towards breaking off your edges. So other things that can break off your edges would be wigs and weaves, any kind of an elastic kind of material that goes around the edge of your hair. So if you're wearing wigs to kind of grow in your natural hair, you might still notice that you have some challenges around the sides and the edges of your hair. And then also even braids, because you're adding a whole lot of weight onto that thinner, finer hair. In addition, folks who pull back your hair regularly, even if you have locks and you wear your locks in a tight ponytail or bun style on a regular basis, you can also see some thinning of your edges. But the good news is that your edges, just as they fall out, they also grow back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's a question for you. So if we're not
ready yet.
Oh, okay. All right. People want to see you, NiLo. People want to see you.
They want to. We can't do it the other way. Remember, we were trying to be on each other's.
Yeah, they're trying to find out how we can do. For those of you who are on the internet just coming in, this is the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. You can catch us on the blackmultiversetheory.com. We are talking about all things black in nature.
True.
And all things that are with our current culture, global news, the scroll, and you can catch our podcast. We are recording live every Tuesday. You can see it on YouTube.
And you'll catch something pretty and edited on Thursday on all of your podcasts.
So, because we are learning this thing as we go, we hear your phone's like that.
I didn't know where it was.
So we are trying to get things situated and put together. So we hear NiLo is the voice of the people as well. So she's hearing that you want to see her split straight.
And Nigel is the voice of the angels.
Really?
Well, if you're making me the voice of the people.
You're the voice of the people. You accepted it.
I did accept it.
So what we're going to do is probably next time I will try and bring a tripod that I can post.
Where we can actually see everybody.
Back here, and then you can see, or post over here so you can see the two of us.
That was the plan eventually.
Once we get it. But right now, on NiLo's Facebook, you can see her. NiLo. And on my Facebook, you can see me. So once we cross those two,
we get crazy feedback.
It's crazy. The feedback from our two phones interacting together.
Yeah,
nuts. So we tried that last week. It didn't work. So we have to get a solution to that. True. Bear with us as we figure this thing out.
So just like you can lose your edges, you can grow them back.
Okay. So you were talking about, for your edges, you were talking about not using the petroleum base, nothing wax based, none of the cones to actually get it to go down, your silicones, and none of the alcohol. So what do you recommend again?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that you can use to grow back your edges. I recommend natural, local products. So, of course, I recommend aphrodisiac products because
Can people order your products online?
Yeah, if you go onto aphrodisiacnaturals.com, you can order almost everything. Yeah.
So, ladies, those of you who want to use all natural products, homegrown, you don't have to go to Toronto to get all these products.
People be flying to Toronto.
They fly to Toronto to get their hair done and
Crazy.
get products.
We're right here.
Not needed. It's grown here. It's done here. It's made here. It's manufactured here. It's tried, tested, and true.
And formulated for this weather.
And formulated for the Edmonton weather,
which is a lot drier.
Ladies and gentlemen, we both have split ends and dried out hair. I know my hair gets pretty dry.
Yeah.
A lot of people as of late have been asking me, what are you going to do with that on your top of your head? So I will be fixing it up for the hair show and making sure that everything is good.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with what I call carrier oils. So carrier oils are the oils that are plant-based, and you would probably add essential oils to carrier oils. So carrier oils you can use pure just the way they are. You don't have to dilute them like essential oils. So some carrier oils that will help with hair growth is olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil, like you could buy at the store, or just regular olive oil?
You can use extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
Fattier oils, especially here in this weather, like avocado oil, which is what I use pretty much in everything. Rose hip is a carrier oil, but it's really expensive. So that is a lot of fine conditioning, and because that's fine hair, it helps actually really well.
Yeah.
I can't see your screen, so I don't know what you're laughing at.
I'm smiling because Jeremy's like, now she's talking.
Thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy's my biggest fan.
Jeremy's a fan right now, so
yeah.
Yeah.
So my 3 secret essential oils to add to those carriers, you will probably want to use about 10 drops each. So the 3 big guns that I use, number 1 is clary sage essential oil. If you're pregnant, you want to stay away from that one.
Okay.
Number 2 is actually carrot seed essential oil, which I went to buy one time, and the lady told me that carrots don't have seeds. Just a moment for that.
Here's the thing I gotta ask though. Where did you find carrot seed oil? Where did you find that?
Where essential oils are sold. I think Mountain Rose essential oils have it. I don't know why that's happening. But Mountain Rose essential oils has it. Also, the last one, which folks are waiting for, is rosemary essential oil. So those 3 are my big heavy hitters for edges. It pretty much works all the time. Typically, if you take away whatever you used before and add something like that, your edges will grow back quite quickly, actually. But mostly, just alleviate the tension and the stress of your edges. If you're using a do-rag or a bonnet, kind of try and secure it a little bit further down on your forehead, across your temples, so it's not like pulling out your actual hair on your edges. And also massage, a lot of massage on your edges and around your hairline, because you actually hold a lot of stress in those spots there. So,
okay.
Yeah, alleviate the tension. Some olive oil, essential oil with rosemary and clary sage and carrot seed essential oil, and then lots of massaging. So that's the answer, Janet, for your edges. And if you have any questions about your natural hair, you can send us a question and I will answer it for you on the air, and that is at blackmultiversepod, @gmail.com. That shit stopped mad long ago. It was like, I'm uploading. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right when you said where to find it. You can find it at click.
It was like, yeah.
So you know what? I like what's happening right now. I got good feedback from my people from the internets.
Okay.
There was quite a few people logging in. Elizabeth, Nick, he's there. Oh, you think so? On your gray hair? Jeremy's saying that he's using the almond oil and coconut oil.
Yeah,
And
Jeremy's in Puerto Rico.
It works on the gray hair. What are you saying about that?
So it would. The great thing about coconut oil is it draws other oils to itself, right? Which is why it's not really good in this particular weather because it tends to dry out your hair in drier weather. Mm-hmm. But as we realized, Jeremy is in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
So it's very moist and humid there. What's going to happen is with gray hair, it tends to get dirty and attract pollutants and those kinds of things. So over time, gray hair, if you don't care for it properly, it kind of tends to yellow a little bit. So the coconut oil is actually going to attract all of those things. So when Jeremy washes his hair, he's going to have a more effective wash. And so the silver and the white will be even more bling blang in. Almond oil probably works for him because he's in a hot place and it's a light oil.
Yeah, he's in
It's
the
not
heat.
too heavy, but it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's like 85 degrees out there every day.
Yeah, it's
That's what
pretty
he's saying.
amazing. It's pretty amazing. You got to take a trip up.
Sham saying he's got chrome on his dome. That's what he's. That's what Sham said. Sham got us dying over here. You're crazy, bro.
Okay, we're done.
All right, that's it.
We got what's in your ears?
What's in our ears, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't do that part yet.
Okay.
So where can we find these the stuff that you were saying?
What, the oils?
No, the products.
Oh, so Aphrodisiac Natural Products is available at aphrodisiacnaturals.com. I have a product there called Golden Cream. Golden Cream has all that stuff that I mentioned in it, and it will actually help you to slick down your edges if that's what you feel to do.
So Aphrodisiac as an APH. No.
Afro like Afro, AFRODISIAC, Aphrodisiac. Naturals.com.
All right, aphrodisiacnaturals.com. All right, that's cool. Time for the next portion of our segment, which is
What's in your ears?
What's in your ears?
So what you listening to, Nigel?
I am listening to the great little sister of Beyonce,
Canoles.
Canoles. I'm listening to her sister Solange.
I love Solange so much.
And I'm listening to her, not the last album, but the album just before that, which is Cranes in the Sky, I believe.
Cranes in the Sky.
And I am listening to that. That's on my regular tip that I'm listening to. And I'm also listening to Jonathan McReynolds.
Who's that?
Jonathan McReynolds is a gospel artist. So I always have a gospel artist that I'm listening to in rotation with my regular stuff. So I love neo soul, I love my indie artists, but I also love my roots, which is gospel artist. And he is here. He has arrived. He is hotness right now with the songs. He's got songs like I'm Not Lucky, I'm Loved, and Make Room. So those are two songs that are in my ears, loving it every day. So that's what's up. What you listening to?
Well, I'm always listening to Soca pretty much. But specifically, DJ Jal just dropped, like, I think it was yesterday, Carnival Cool Down 2019. And this guy is so talented. I'll be out there on the trails because that's when I listen to my gel podcast in the mornings, and I'm like, yesterday morning I'm like, you're so effing talented. Actually, I said Sofa King, you're so fucking talented. He's like, I assume that you're talking about the The last mix. But yeah, it definitely has kept me on the trails, like kept me energy. There's times, we're coming to the opening now. It's been so much work. But it's pick me up, like the energy's there. This guy hears these songs in so many different ways. Like there's not a DJ I know that can put the same group of songs together in so many different ways and make you hear it differently. He'll like premiere, like he'll start a song and you're like, wait a minute, it was in the middle of the pack last time, and you just hear the song completely differently. And then the things he matches up in different songs, I listen to a lot of mixes. So how the mix flows from song to song is like a really big deal to me, especially here in this space, because sometimes there's DJs who are like just heavy on the mic, like just saying all kinds of extra stuff, but my clients are sitting there like, okay, sir. It doesn't translate. Like they may have recorded during the club or whatever, and it just doesn't translate. But sure. The great thing about Gel is that he's just quiet and he lets the music speak for itself. So this last lap Carnival Cool Down also signals to me that Bincy music is on the horizon. It's May time, so a lot of the St. Vincent music comes out in May. So
nice. So DJ Gel in the house.
The soca analyst.
Soca analyst. Mm-hmm. So I love DJ Gel. I've been getting on to that, listening to it because of you, because of the hype that you've put on the name of DJ Gel. Mm-hmm. So I've actually...
He's our house DJ, but not resident.
He's not a resident DJ, but he's the house DJ. Yeah. For sure. Yep. Any books?
Today I just talked about The Tao of Pooh by Benjamin Hoff, which just talks about the different personalities of the Winnie the Pooh characters as they relate to the Chinese philosophy of Taoism. I haven't read it in a long time, but it's definitely worth a revisit.
Nice.
Damn, we're just powering through this. Look at us. Podcast genius.
Boom. Podcasting. We are the podcast gurus. Successful. Yes. So those of you tuning in, we are wrapping up right now the last little bits of our podcast that we have going on. It is called the Black Multiverse Theory.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Allison. So on the Black Multiverse Theory, we are talking about all things Black related, all cultural stuff that is going on locally in the news. Mm-hmm. Also, we're dealing with the internet. Mm-hmm. And what's happening on our social media scrolls, and that have come up top stories only, really.
Really? What sticks out?
Nothing too crazy. We're not trying to follow a bunch of people.
No.
And sticking to just the life that we live and how we face off. So today we talked about pronouns. We talked about how people perceive themselves
and choose to be identified.
Mm-hmm. We spoke about the soldiers of Oden. Which is a very strange local white supremacist group that has marched just recently and made their state.
There's a lot of white supremacy roots in Edmonton, though. There's a guy named, I believe his name is Bashir, who does a talk about it. But I'm not sure if that's his name. I would love to actually host him here at the shop.
Okay.
But apparently it is very draining for him. He does the talks a lot, so.
Right. And then we talked about our events that are coming up.
Yeah.
We spoke about the scroll, what happened in the scroll with Sierra, Future, and Russell Wilson.
Yep.
And how they dealt with a few things going on with that. Mm-hmm. So we spoke about that, and then we spoke about what is going on in our ears. We also talked about other topics, side topics, like how we identify ourselves as Black people, even Caribbean people who have island heritage, People are always asking you where you're from. Some of us are born here.
But where are you really from, though?
Right. Some of us are of mixed race. So because there's a mixed race, people are always asking, oh, you look so exotic. Where are you from? All these things seem to come up in topic.
Yeah.
So we have these things. So for those of you tuning in, we will be doing Tuesday nights.
Tuesday nights right here on live. So we're going to be live Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night while we figure this out. So we're all going to learn to podcast together.
Yeah. And we will be posting it about 24 to 48 hours after that.
Yeah.
So make sure
By
we
Thursday-ish.
have everything edited. But you'll get the live, raw.
Right here. And a
Okay.
bunch of stuff that's not even going to be on the podcast.
Lots of stuff.
Most of it, actually.
So if you're on right now, remember to share what you have right now.
Yeah, share, like, subscribe. Podcast available at
Tag some of the
blackmultiverse.com.
people that we talked about today. Tag Future. Tell them we're talking about them.
Do not tag the Sons of Oden. Soldiers of Oden.
Please don't tag the soldiers
Do
of
not,
Oden. We don't want that kind of trouble.
AKA
But,
the Premier Robert.
Tell Russell we talking about him over here in the CA.
Tell Russell that was I'm Richard Sherman. What's up? Hit me up.
Okay. Okay.
While we're shouting out football players that don't know nothing or care about us, shit. Like, Beast Mode, what's up? Hit me up, seriously. Okay. Almost ready.
So,
Marshawn Lynch is literally like one of my favorite actual humans, though.
yeah.
Yes, like that guy saved his money. He definitely like has been there like for the kids. The way he started the businesses, he gave 0 Fs when he was in the league. Like he definitely did not play by the rules. Marshawn Lynch is like one of my heroes. That is a hair that I want to do. Marshawn Lynch.
You want to do Marshawn Lynch's hair?
His hair.
For those of you who don't know about my beautiful co-host, it is NiLo. NiLo,
Always awkward. I thought you were gonna say beautiful hair.
co-host, that is NiLo. She does natural hair. She does locks. She does, your washes, your steams. For men, you got the beard steamer. She's got a beard steamer.
I did a beard steam this last weekend.
Yeah, she pulls out all the stuff. Okay. Yeah? All right. Sham says, you sound like SWV.
Okay.
What's happening
I'll
here?
take it. What's up?
What's going on here? What's happening here? Okay.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. So we both have, just a little background on us, we both have very similar heritage.
Guyana and Trinidad.
We have the Caribbean, which Guyana and Trinidad, we both have.
Grew up here.
We both moved to the States and did
lived
schooling
there.
up there. Kind of
Came back here.
Came back to Edmonton and found podcasting and found each other randomly at a hair show that I was emceeing. So we realized that this works.
We could do this.
out.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, actually, I also have to say that I gave you plenty of chance to ask for me to be your co-host until I had to be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah. The true facts story.
Yo, what's up? You gonna let me co-host or what?
The few years back when I met her, I was like, yo, I'm about to do this podcast. I'm about to launch this podcast. Everybody, when this podcast hits, everybody's like, yes, when the podcast hits, we're going to be there.
Ready.
And she was pretty much one of the only people to be like, yo, when's this podcast coming up? Because I want to support.
Yeah,
like,
what's up?
I want to pay for people to use the podcast spot. Like she was willing to put money.
Sponsor somebody
and sponsor somebody to actually use the spot.
Different podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been in the corner. So one day she just came and says, "Yo, when you
what's up? Let's do it.
Why ain't you asking me to help you?" And I was like, really? What you know about? You know about hair? I don't know nothing about hair. And I just felt that she she has so much knowledge about what she does that I wouldn't have anything to talk about. I still don't have anything to talk about.
You
when
talk
it comes
about
to
everything
her stuff.
else.
But we've decided to compromise and bring together and actually include all of Black culture. So for me in Edmonton, I am the PR representative for the National Black Coalition of Canada, Edmonton. We are introducing something new called the Black Card. It is for businesses and for people who are in Edmonton. When you sign up, there is a $20 cost for membership. You become a member of the National Black Coalition in Canada, but also
It's a discount card.
It works as a discount card.
Yep.
It is the Black Card. So when you have a Black Card, anybody ever tell you, man?
Black privilege.
In
a card.
Like Sham is saying about SWV here, for those of you who don't know SWV, you could have got your Black Card revoked back in the 90s if you didn't know
Still to this day.
if you didn't know who SWV is.
Right.
So with a little play on words and a little lightheartedness, we decided to name the membership card and the discount card the Black Card. So you are able to get a membership, you're able to get that, and then you get discounts from local businesses in the area.
Right.
We call it the Economic Empowerment Initiative. And because we are doing that, we are boosting the dollar value for our community, in our community, for our businesses.
And boosting the signal, right? Because the businesses will be connecting with each other, and they'll be connecting with your client base, really.
Right.
Yeah.
So
cool.
You have we will be having, for those businesses, those of you who are logging on, you know you have a business. Go on
Blackcard,
blackkcard.ca. Once you go on there, sign up as a business. It's free as a business for those of you like Sham who's a realtor.
Ain't trying to pay no money.
Stuff like that. You got lots of stuff. Sign up, and it literally, all the members will have a list of all the businesses that are there and what they'll provide. You can provide
on the
a discount. The discount that you provide as a business is your choice.
100%. And you can also change it. If you have a discount, you find that it's not working for you, you can change it.
Change it around.
Yeah. And
flip the script. Do some stuff. So, buy one, get one free, 10% off, 20% off, whatever you want, you could do that. Buy 7 burgers, get 1 pickle free. Whatever you feel that you want to do,
right.
Let's get it done.
Let's do it.
So, I think
that's it for us.
That is it.
We survived.
We survived the Black Multiverse Theory podcast.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone in the land.
And don't forget to like this podcast.
And
subscribe and favorite it on everywhere that you get your podcasts. We're available on Anchor, on Stitcher, on Spotify, coming soon to SoundCloud, coming soon to Apple Music, Google Play. Is that it?
There was one more, but it was started with a B. Brittany? No. Bridger? No. Backstabber? I don't remember. One of the ones.
Wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast, we're gonna try again.
Yeah.
We're gonna try again.
And thanks you guys for tuning in, for keeping us awake, and for watching me drink Red Bull.
Right. Red Bull, if you're watching. This lady right here wants you to sponsor.
Yeah, Red Bull if you're watching.
Come on, Red Bull.
I'm just saying.
Tag us in. # Red Bull. Maybe Red Bull might take a look and see that we got Red Bull.
They do sponsor a lot of podcasts.
Okay, Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm just saying.